Traders, I look forward to sharing several of my top ideas for the upcoming week with all of you. Several of my top swing ideas that I discussed in detail in my most recent IA meeting on Thursday afternoon. For fresh entries, new entries in names like Ethereum or Ether, the ETF, or Tesla. After the significant coil, they experienced awesome breakouts, some momentum on Friday, and Ethereum over the weekend. Those are two areas primarily that I'll be focused on coming into the week on Monday. For follow through. In terms of some fresh ideas though, let's take a look starting off with gold. So we have GLD ETF right here, based on several obvious factors, not the easiest of trading vehicles typically, but after really nice significant momentum into new highs, into record highs, it's now spent several months consolidating, going sideways, aligning beautifully across multiple time frames, from a weekly down to a daily, down to an hourly, which I really like, digesting the move right near its highs, with a very clear breakout area from 315 up to 317, 318. So it looks increasingly likely, in my opinion, to retest those highs, barring any significant macro developments. And so I'd be very open to putting on a feeler, putting on a starter position above last week's high, really just dipping my toes in above 315 and a nice hold above 315. However, so dipping my toes in, putting on a feeler position above last week's high above 315. That's where I would look to be more aggressive, putting on more size, positioning for a breakout almost there, with a stop at low of day. And if the trade does experience some follow through and momentum, at that point in time, that's where I'd be looking to trail against the previous low of day. All right, shifting gears to more of a small cap. Let's put on VWAP for this just to clean up that chart a little bit. There you go. Now, a lot of opportunity in small caps and penny stocks. Low float land last week. Before I give, I guess, some general overview, thoughts, my plan for IMG specifically, just looking at previous resistance, failure spots, potential supply from day one, unbelievable volume. Were we to push back on a PR, on a fluff PR, or just on a last-ditch attempt at a squeeze, anywhere from 50 cents towards 60 is where I would have alerts set and turn my attention, if those alerts go off, back into overhead, back into supply, for any failed follow through, any significant failure, and then I'd be looking for a short against the high of day. But with that being said, just general points regarding small caps and low floats right now. After, I would say, 2 weeks, up to 2 weeks of really seemingly fantastic follow through to the downside in gappers, day one gappers, without any outlier squeeze, without any action making shorts pay, the likelihood of an intraday squeeze, I think, has increased substantially. Shorts have been becoming increasingly confident, potentially a little bit complacent. And so we might be nearing the part of the cycle where a significant squeezer could just be around the corner. One that really punishes intraday shorts that are just adding, waiting for a turn. So I'll be on high alert for any potential traps intraday, any moves that, trading outlier volume after day one gap, traps under VWAP, reclaims VWAP for potential longs and an outlier move above high of day that can punish adders. It's certainly not a guarantee, but I think that the chance and the likelihood for something like that happening within the next week or 2 or 3 has certainly increased. All right, shifting gears now back away from low floats and penny stocks. Let's put SMAs back on. Let's turn our attention to Fannie Mae. All right, so Fannie Mae, breaking news on Friday, I think was one of the top, I would say, standout opportunities, specifically for me. I would say that breakout trade right off the headline, along with Ethereum, along with Tesla. Now, going forward, I would say, up to 2 entries for the beginning of the week in Fannie Mae. First, from just looking at that chart, very obvious. If we get a breakout above 10 where we found some refresh selling and failure and clear resistance on Friday, should we break above 10 on Monday and hold above, that's where I'd look to enter for an intraday momentum trade. And second, and more of a swing, if I'm not already positioned long, would be more of a dip towards support from Friday back into the 960 region, confirm a higher low, and then we re-enter this range above 980 is where I'd look for starters and look to be adding above 10 with a stop against support, and then trailing accordingly thereafter. Some additional ideas where I have some alerts I'm just going to be monitoring. Price action this week. First one will be Meta. Meta awesome post-earnings consolidation, holding these highs incredibly well. For me, I need a bit, further compression, one more day, or a nice hold above 775 before I look to act, so that I can just improve risk reward there a little bit. But it's definitely one that I'm eyeing for further tightness, and then looking for some expansion. Should it continue to display some relative strength? Palantir, a lot of people have asked about this in recent meetings. While it might be, if you zoom out, obviously extended and on quite an incredible run to the upside, well, you could make a case that short-term it's extended. We haven't significantly extended from 10, 20-day, 5-day moving average yet. We haven't seen any range of volume expansion to the upside, so I'm not looking for a short right now. Along with that, we haven't seen any major relative weakness. I just wanted to add this to the list to provide my comments. Should we get any major relative weakness to the market, underperforming intraday, maybe I'll look for some scalps and momentum to the downside. But really, the only A-plus opportunity I see in Palantir for the short side, which doesn't exist yet, would be any significant extension, break of character and momentum we're seeing right now, which would be a range of volume expansion and potentially multiple consecutive gap days, and seeing that range overall expand. Tesla, beautiful breakout on Friday from this coil converging moving averages, almost all of them. And obviously this is a name that I discussed at length, looking for that breakout above the 200-day. For follow through, nothing has changed from that plan and comments I made in the recent IA meeting. 340, 350 are still initial targets. And then lastly, Ethereum continues to lead unbelievable against Bitcoin. And the plan again remains the same as I outlined in detail in my recent meeting. We look at a chart of Ethereum, 4,200 was target one. We've got that over the weekend. It needs to hold above that for a day or two or multiple days. And when we push above that zone, that's when potential momentum could come in play, and we could see a move towards mid to upper 4,000s. And then the responsive targets, obviously in the ETF itself. So that's everything that I'm watching coming into the week as of right now. And as always, and I appreciate it when you guys provide comments and share your plans in the comments below. So feel free to do so. Let me know what you're trading for the upcoming week, any fantastic setups that you've identified with your plans. I enjoy reading through all of those each week. All right, thank you. Good luck, and I will chat to you all next week.
So you're an active trader, not doing as well as you want, not doing as well as you deserve, and you just can't figure out why you can't become profitable no matter how hard you try. Well, let me show you why. This is your competition. The traders in this room. This room right here is full of elite traders, some of whom are making 7 and even 8 figures a year. In fact, our top guys have made nearly 20 million each in net trading profits in a single year. Let's head to my office so I can share more. So you're probably used to seeing videos of lavish trader lifestyles, trading gurus trading off of a laptop for an hour a day, heck, maybe even 15 minutes a day, and then them relaxing on some secluded beach for the rest of the day. Well, all I can tell you is that our traders train like pro athletes. They live and breathe the markets and are continually working on their trading skills. Because at our firm, that's what we found it really takes to make it in this game. I'm Mike Bellafiore, co-founder and managing partner of S&B Capital, one of the world's top proprietary trading firms located in Midtown Manhattan. And we're always looking for trading talent to hire and develop. And not just to trade in-house on our desk, but also to trade from their own home, entirely using our firm's capital. And we have numerous traders doing just that, allowing them to make upwards of 7 figures trading the firm's capital without risking their own money. But to even get a shot at something like that, you need to have the right training. That's why we're doing a new free online presentation in which we share how you can get an interview with SMB to become an in-house or remote trader, trading firm capital without risking yours and gaining access to all of our firm's coaching and resources. And the best part? You don't have to be a profitable trader yet. In fact, we prefer to mold profitable traders with our methods and our techniques. That's why we have just 3 simple criteria that can earn anyone an interview. We're looking for highly ambitious and determined traders who fit our culture first and foremost. So if you believe that could be you, sign up for the free 1-hour online presentation by clicking the link that's in your top right corner of your screen now.